Hey guys, it is Thursday, January 24, 2019. So more continued volatility in the markets today. I believe the Dow Jones closed about 22 points down. We saw a lot of volatility yesterday that transferred over to today. We're seeing volatility across the world. Venezuela, chaotic. I have got to congratulate all the people in Venezuela are in my prayers. It looks like they're going to oust Maduro. Hopefully this happens peacefully. These people got in the streets, rose up, fought, gave up their lives, people being gunned down by the military, just horrible violence taking place, people starving, just a horrible, horrible time down in Venezuela with a horrible dictator. And this is another reason why socialism doesn't work. My hat goes off, my prayers to the people in Venezuela. And again, hopefully this transfer of power happens peacefully. And these people deserve it. What a great example of people coming together, the strength in numbers. These people were sick of being slaves. They were sick of living in socialism under a dictator. And hopefully we're going to see big changes coming to Venezuela. We still have the Brexit issue in the UK. We still have over 800,000 people here not getting a check, the government workers. So there's just a lot of volatility and uncertainty happening around the world, which is why I went and got another ounce of gold, a gold 1 ounce eagle, because, I have to, when I watch with what's going on around the world, when I see what's happening right here in the United States of America, when I read the news, Poland and Hungary amassing gold, they amassed a lot of gold in 2018, Russia, Turkey, India, most central banks are all amassing gold. First quarter 2018, global purchases of gold rose 42%. The world is edging towards instability and possible financial chaos. That is on Zero Hedge today. So reading things like that motivated me to take some of that cash monopoly money, that paper money, and go buy a 1 ounce gold eagle today to ensure my wealth, to preserve my wealth, to preserve my life, quite literally. And it's just a great day to be buying hard assets like gold or like silver. So if you have a couple dollars set aside, put some of it into the metals. I'm not telling you to put your whole life savings into precious metals, but I think without a doubt, and I'm not a financial planner, but I think without a doubt right now, you should be 20% into the metals right now. China and other countries are buying gold to devalue the US dollar. They know what they are doing and they know what is coming. The US dollar is going to be under a lot of pressure from countries across the globe who are dependent on it right now, but are looking at other options to get off of it because they feel enslaved by the US dollar. Once the US dollar loses that reserve status, this country's in big trouble. And if you're not holding this, if you're not holding silver, you're going to be in big trouble, because if we look at the US dollar right now, it's lost 97% of its purchasing power. If you don't believe me, you can Google that. It's lost 97% of its purchasing power in like the last 60 years. This will keep up with inflation. As we see the helicopter money and the quantitative easing coming back, when we start collapsing farther down this hole, the only thing they can do is print money. And as they do that, they're going to devalue the dollar even more than it already has been devalued. Then you will see hyperinflation. I don't care how much crypto you have. I don't care how much paper, how much money you have in your 401k, how many dollar bills you have. I don't care, because it's all paper and make-believe. This is what counts. What I'm holding in my hand, what I have access to, a hard asset. This around the world, everybody knows what this is. It's gold. It's the real money. It's God's money. If I hold up a piece of silver, anywhere I go in the world, in any country, they know that that piece of silver is money. Okay? This is God's money right here. Okay? It's been here before we got here. It's going to be here after we leave here. It's going to be in heaven when you get there. This is God's money. It's going nowhere, okay? This can save your life. When you are watching what is happening across the globe, when you're watching what's happening in the real estate market, the auto sector, when you're looking at what's happening at retail, how many thousands of retailers will be closing in 2019? March, we're going to see 80 more Sears and Kmart stores closing. Take a look at the trend. Do you really think things are going in the right direction? Do you think you should not be insuring and preserving your wealth with some of this? I think you should. And again, I'm not a financial planner. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, what I believe is the right thing to do. And I'm going to tell you, there's no better feeling when you're holding an ounce of silver or an ounce of gold in your hand. This is truly wealth. This is real money. I've noticed that a lot of people in the comments say that they've woken up or they are awake. My question is to those people who are awake or who have just woken up or who've been awake, what are you doing? What are you doing right now today to prepare? Things are coming to America. Are you ready to engage with the things you're going to see in the streets of America? The violence, the chaos, the uncertainty, the hate, the shit hit the fan, the without rule of law. Are you ready to engage and deal with what you're going to see in this new environment in America? We cannot prepare if we're sitting on the couch drinking a Diet Coke, having a Twinkie, playing video games. No matter how awake you are, okay? Awake is one thing, but being awake and prepared is another. I think even if you're the most prepared person out there, you have to continue to prepare every day. Mainly mentally. I think you have to have a mindset and think about the potential and possibilities of things we could see on the streets of America, the amount of violence. When there is without rule of law, even the nicest people that you thought were so nice, your neighbors, your coworkers, they can be the most violent animals you've ever seen. And so we can prepare with all the food and water and gold and silver and guns and ammo and medical aid and all that. But I think we really have to sit down and prepare mentally that we could potentially see some really dark things happening to America and to the people of America. And most people have never seen real severe violence. And if somebody saw little children murdered or stabbed or burned alive, I think that most people would have a real hard time getting through that. But these are the kind of things that we could see in America. When there is without rule of law, when shit hits the fan, all bets are off. There is no 911. There is no ambulance, no fire, no police. There is no government, okay? It is a breakdown. And for you people who are really dependent on the government, if you think you're going to call 911 and get a police car to your house in 5 minutes, you are sadly mistaken. This is coming to America. We are literally an event away from seeing a breakdown happen right now in America. We have politicians that won't even talk to one another. The Democrats will not even talk to the President of the United States of America. They cannot give this man $5 billion to get almost 1 million people back to work. They despise this man. They cannot accept the fact that he won the election. They would rather implode the entire country. They would rather hurt you, the taxpayer, you, the patriot, you, the American. They would rather hurt you and implode this country than to let Trump and the United States of America win. So you have to know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with traitors here. You're dealing with people who want to hurt you, who hate your family, who want to bring America down. They don't care about you. If they did, they would give Trump $20 billion to build the entire wall right now, because this wall is so important with protecting America, and it really makes a statement and draws a line in the sand that America no longer is going to allow terrorists and gang members and unskilled, uneducated people to walk over here while the American taxpayer pays for it. It makes a statement, and it sends a message to the world that the game is over, that America now is going to be a sovereign nation, a sovereign country, a country that's going to protect its own people, that Americans are going to come first. Question, what happens when the food stamp money runs out? What happens when the EBT money runs out? What's going to happen if they try to impeach Trump this year in 2019? Do you not think we're going to see mass violence in the streets of America? What if Trump starts indicting some of the people, some of these traitors on the left? What if he starts going after members of the CIA, the FBI, Department of Justice? What if he starts going after the Hillary Clintons for selling uranium? What if he goes after her for Benghazi? What if he goes after Eric Holder for Fast and Furious? We're going to see civil unrest because we have never been so divided as a country ever. And so, in my opinion, and this is my opinion only, I don't think we're going to resolve anything until we see violence in America. I think it is unavoidable. I think violence is going to be unavoidable here in America one way or another. Either the left is going to cause it or the right is going to cause it. But more than likely, it's typically the left. I think the right has been very, very controlled. Yet we see Antifa. We see how violent the left can be. You have to be careful with the color hat you wear. If you wear a red and white hat, you could be assaulted. I don't think if you were wearing a support Hillary hat, I see people driving all over out here with Hillary stickers. I don't see them being assaulted. I don't see anybody attacking them. But I do see people wearing red and white hats all over the place on the news, being assaulted, being verbally assaulted, being physically assaulted. So we're living in a time now where if you're in the wrong place wearing the wrong color hat, you could be attacked. They want to get rid of Trump, and by doing so, they're going to have to get rid of Pence. So they would have to get rid of Trump and Pence, bring in the third person in line, which is Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi would probably bring in Hillary Clinton. Nancy Pelosi would probably step down, leaving Hillary Clinton to pick a vice president. That's like their plan, as crazy as it may seem. They think that they're going to keep throwing these outlandish charges against Trump with Russian collusion, that Trump's involved in this, that Trump's not paying his taxes, that Trump's involved with this, that he's involved with the mafia, that Trump's kids are involved in this, that Trump's a spy, Trump's a Martian from another planet. They're trying to throw everything at the wall to see what's going to stick, so that they can just try at some point to impeach this president, pretty much based on fallacies and lies. But at the end of the day, they're going to cause violence here in America. The less that the Democratic Party comes to the table, the more they ignore this president, the less that they talk to him, they're going to push for violence. Their solution, their answer to this is violence. I don't really see the right being violent unless they try to impeach this president. But I do more than likely see violence coming from the left because, they cannot digest the fact that Trump is the president. They don't like that he's standing up against globalism. They don't like that he's standing up to the globalist financial institutions, the central banks. They don't like that they cannot control him. They don't like that he's a high testosterone male who's an independent thinker. We have to understand that the Republicans and the Democrats, for the most part, they're contaminated. They're sellouts. They're traitors. They've sold this country out. Now, I think there may be a handful of good Republicans left, maybe a couple Democrats, but for the most part, the Democratic Party has been hijacked by the global elite, the socialists. But there's many, many Republicans that if they had the opportunity to get rid of Trump with the press of a button right now, they would. There's many Republicans who are stabbing Trump in the back right now who are not supporting this president. So the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, both the same dirty snake with two separate heads. One's red, one's blue. But at the end of the day, they're both snakes. They're the same snake with two separate heads. So I think both parties are contaminated, and Trump has very, very few friends in Washington, and that's why it is so important that we as Americans, whether you like him or not, it is so important that we support this man, because if he loses, if they impeach him, or if he loses in 2020, America's done. That's my personal opinion. America's done. Look at what's coming. You got socialism coming, and it's never leaving. They're going to blow those borders open. We have more caravans coming as I speak right now. They're going to flood this country with more illegals, and by doing so, they're going to turn you into a third world country. They're going to turn you as an individual into a debt slave. These people are going to continue to become more powerful. They have the authority. They'll have all the money. And by doing so, they're going to come after your religious rights. They're going to come after your gun rights. They're going to disarm you. They're going to turn you into a Venezuela. Okay. So when you're protesting, the military can gun you down, and there's not a damn thing you're going to do about it. They're going to tax you to death, and they're going to disarm you, and they're going to break America into a million pieces, and it's over. So think about that. Get your personal vendetta with Trump out of the way. If Trump loses, the United States of America is done. Look at what's coming. Look what they're trying to do right now with him in office. And yet people are not supporting this president. If you love this country and you don't want to lose it, you better support this president. This is our last chance. In closing, guys, we are seeing things happening in America that we have never seen happen before. I think we're now in a period of time where we're seeing good versus evil, light versus darkness. And I think it's a time where you as an individual need to pick what side you're on. There's a line in the sand, and you need to decide what side of it you're on. Are you on the dark side, or are you on the light side? And for you people who don't know, or who are on the fence or confused, really think about it with your heart and your conscience. Do you think these socialists who want to take America down, who don't want to protect it, who want to take your rights away, who want to tax you to death, who want to socialize America, do you really think you're going to be better off 5 or 10 years from now with this? Think about what they're doing to America. I mean, we're at a point now where people don't even know what bathroom to use. People don't know what gender they are. We're at a time now in America with 70,000 people dying of opioid overdoses. We have a drug war happening right here in America. We're being invaded every day by illegal aliens, by terrorists coming over the border, by cartels coming over the border. Do you really think that it's our responsibility here in America to take care of every unskilled, uneducated human being in the world? What's going to happen to America? Think about what's going to happen to America 10 or 20 years down the road. And I'm going to tell you, we'll be a socialist country. We'll be a third world country. People will be dying in the streets every day of diseases, of famine. America will look like a ghetto. It's going to look like the country that all those people are fleeing to come here to, okay? We're going to turn into those countries. I don't want to turn into a Mexico. I don't want to turn into a Venezuela. I don't want to turn into a El Salvador, okay? There's a reason why America is great, because of the people here who made it great. The people that were loyal to it, assimilated to it, stood up for it, would give their life for it, flew the flag for it, worked hard for it, never asked for a dime. Now people come to America for all the government subsidies to rob it and rape it. Nobody wants to come here and assimilate. And these people in Washington want to continue to allow this invasion so that you lose your history, your culture, and you're going to lose your country. And when it's gone, it's never coming back. Your kids are never going to experience freedom. They're never going to experience a first world country. You're going to send them into a third world ghetto. We're heading there right now. This country's broke. And by allowing millions of more people into it, we are going to go into being a third world, if not a fourth world country. And I don't want to live under socialism. I don't want to live under communism. I want to be a capitalistic, free country like it was meant to be. Guys, if we do not wake up, raise our voices, wake people up, support this president, vote. If we have to, show up at an event to raise our voice and support what we believe in, we have got to get off the couch. We gotta put the Twinkies down. We got to get active. We got to get involved. Once this country's gone, it ain't never coming back. This is the greatest country in the world. A lot of people died for it. A lot of people died getting here. We owe it to those people to never give it up. And I truly believe we owe it to God himself not to give America up, because who is the most charitable country in the entire world? It's America. If we go broke and we turn to a third world socialist country, we're not going to help anybody. We won't even be able to help ourselves. Guys, have a great week. Continue to support this president, this country. Continue to pray for this president and this country. I will talk to you very, very soon. God bless.